The American superhero series Titans Season 3 is officially happening, and it has a new streaming home, HBO Max. Titans Season 2 kicked off in September of 2019, and Season 3 was confirmed shortly before the conclusion of the second season in the same year. And this new season is expected to be just as great or even better than the previous ones. Although there's a new streaming home for this action series, there's also going to be some other great changes such as airtime, budget, cast, and more. So stay tuned to hear all about these new changes and how Season 3 of Titans will change everything. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. With the news of Season 3, Titans director has since showed off some cool looks of Season 3 on social media. Boris Mojsovsky gave fans a sneak preview of what's to come on HBO Max. Some cool details on Backfire, a wild bit of outdoor rigging, and tons of blue screen work for driving conversation are all in clear view. Things have been slowly eking out of production, and the premiere date is inching ever closer. All of the fans have been clamoring for it, and they're about to get their wish. Showrunner Greg Walker talked to Comic Book about how things are going to switch up this season on Titans. This is how the season is going to be different, I think, in a lot of ways. It ultimately ends with them figuring out a way as a team. It ends optimistically, Walker mentioned. That is the world that we live in right now, especially the way Titans can be. We kind of beat ourselves up for the past sins. It's nice to be liberated. We have a character named Dove who is going to point in the direction we're going to. It takes them a long time to follow her advice, ultimately finding a way to get off the hamster wheel, to stop doing things the way we've always done them and find a new way. That they have to figure out how to do collectively. Along with a bunch of other information on Season 3, there also has been some hints on what exactly the story will be like. And unlike the Titans Season 1 finale, Titans Season 2 managed to wrap up the majority of its overarching plots. Deathstroke was defeated, the machinations of Cadmus Labs were halted, both of their brainwashed allies were restored, and the Titans were finally officially united as a team. Still, the Titans Season 2 finale wasn't without any stage setting for the future. After a season of Corey being divided between helping the Titans and dealing with her own family problems, the latter looks set to escalate from more than the occasional tease. That fact was highlighted in the finale's closing moments, with her murderous sister Blackfire revealed to have arrived on Earth and positioning herself as the big bad of Titans Season 3. Equally, Rachel, or Raven, was last seen choosing to leave with the Amazons and Donna Troy's body, believing her ever-increasing powers could help resurrect the fallen Wonder Girl. Dick Grayson remained understandably skeptical though. Fans, however, will no doubt tilt more towards being hopeful. With Donna's death deemed disappointing and unnecessary, many would no doubt like to see her return. And given the unstable, occasionally darker side of Rachel's powers, it could be that Titans Season 3 offers a vastly different Donna. After venturing back and forth across the country in Titans Season 1, the group set up shop largely in San Francisco for Titans Season 2. Things were confirmed to be changing yet again in Titans Season 3. For reasons not yet clear, the young heroes will next relocate back to Dick Grayson's old stomping grounds of Gotham City. As a result, the chances for more clashes with Ian Glenn's Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, increased. Equally, the move would allow the team to battle against Batman's own Rogues Gallery, as well as battle alongside members of the Bat family, of which until now have only been teased. Also in recent news, Titans Season 3 will mark the return of Brenton Thwaites as Nightwing, Anna Diop as Starfire, Ryan Potter as Gar Logan, Alan Richson as Hawk, Minka Kelly as Dove, Chelsea Zhang as Rose Wilson, and Joshua Orpin as Connor Kent. Also set to return will be Tegan Croft as Rachel Roth, whose departure was likely storyline based to explain how Donna Troy returns from death in Titans Season 3. The latter will likely remain played by Connor Leslie. Equally, despite leaving the team in his rearview mirror, Curran Walton's Jason Todd was confirmed to return and will finally adopt the Red Hood persona. Given that Jericho's consciousness was last seen transferred into Rose's body, Chella Man could also be a returning presence. Rumors for new additions to Titans Season 3 have ranged from Roy Harper to Danny Chase or Phantasm. Confirmed changes, however, include Demarius Lewis, who was upgraded to a regular as Blackfire. Savannah Welch was also cast as Barbara Gordon, who will serve as Gotham City Police Commissioner rather than Batgirl. Jay Lycurgo will debut as Tim Drake, who's also the third incarnation of Robin. Sharon Ferguson was cast as Starfire and Blackfire's mother, Queen Luander, and Vincent Kartheiser was confirmed to be playing Dr. Jonathan Crane, also known as Scarecrow. But how all these disparate elements ultimately come together will be officially made clear when Titans Season 3 is finally released. Since premiering on DC Universe, Titan has surprisingly not taken advantage of being a streaming series. Unlike the Arrowverse shows on the CW, Titans have the freedom to go beyond the regular 42-minute run that the broadcast shows go with. Their fellow spin-off series Doom Patrol has in both seasons gone beyond the 40-minute mark, as they have episodes that have a length of over 50 minutes. But for unknown reasons, Titans never seem to take advantage of that in their first 2 seasons. Despite even having over 10 episodes, it has always felt like the writers had to cram in so much into every single episode when all they perhaps needed was longer airtime. The last season introduced an overwhelming amount of arcs and characters, from the war with Deathstroke, Project Cadmus to Starfire's feud with Blackfire. Given how large Titans has become at this point, if they're going to go with a 10 to 13 episode order, extending the airtime for Season 3 would benefit them tremendously. This is one of the biggest mythologies in DC Comics that comes with major heroes and villains as well as iconic arcs. Given that the live action series wants to use it as much as possible, a 40-minute format simply won't do, and hopefully with their new streaming home HBO Max will recognize that. Something that can easily become iconic with a show is its opening credits, but given how the TV genre has evolved, some shows only use title cards instead. Due to commercial breaks, networks have pretty much phased out long opening credit sequences, while some of the Arrowverse shows have brought it back to a certain degree since Crisis on the Infinite Earths. Broadcast networks are mostly sticking to the short intros. However, the DC Universe originals have interestingly enough gone 2 ways with it. One of the most beloved aspects of Doom Patrol is its captivating introduction featuring a core element of each character while playing their theme song. But in the case of Titans, they have gone in the opposite direction by doing a short montage going past each letter in the show's title. Given that this is a Teen Titans based series, it's disappointing that they wouldn't take a page out of Doom Patrol's book and create an iconic opening sequence. In one way or another, the theme song as well as the credit sequence becomes a part of this series in the long run. Looking at another comic book series, one of Smallville's most iconic aspects was their theme song that played during every opening sequence for 10 seasons. With HBO Max not having to worry about commercial breaks, there should absolutely be the space for Titans to finally revamp their intro. While Titans certainly have impressive special effects, it's noticeable that their budget isn't as big as it probably should be. A majority of the characters are mostly humans, while the team consists of a number of super-powered heroes. The first season became known for teasing Trigon as their first big bad guy, but only showed him in his human form in the final episodes. Then the Titan Season 2 premiere had Trigon transform into his comic-accurate form, only to be defeated moments later by Raven, which probably had to do with budget restrictions. While it's not confirmed, if a budget wasn't a concern, then the viewers would have gotten to see Trigon in his true form for more than one episode. Then there is the case to be made about Beast Boy, who is one of the Titans' most underutilized characters that has shown his full potential when given the opportunity. His superpower is being able to shapeshift into any animal, but so far in the series he has only changed into a handful of them. Even if it's plot related, it's almost a given that it's due to their budget being restricted, or else he'd have shapeshifted into more animals by now. Whether or not it was because the DC Universe was having limited resources is still an unanswered question. That could also probably explain why they chose not to make Beast Boy and Starfire have their skins be green and orange respectively all the time like in the comics. But with the move to HBO Max, it's very possible that the production budget will be increased. Given that the new platform wants to make all of their original series look as visually good as possible, it's hard to imagine Titans not getting a boost. To up the visuals for the 3rd season would also help the transition from DC Universe to HBO Max, while also being able to separate themselves from the DC digital service. It also helped them for future seasons, as the writers will likely introduce even more DC characters that require a good VFX budget. Based on how big HBO Max's commitment is going to be for Green Lantern and Justice League Dark, hopefully they'll show the same dedication for Titan Season 3 as it becomes part of their DC TV lineup. With that said, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.